Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Today we're working on my 2001 Chevy Tahoe. You can see I got the 05 Silverado front end. I call this my Silver Hoe. But right here I have the vehicle jacked up using the frame. I have a little rubber stamp right there on the top of my jack. But make sure you are in the proper location with your jack and your jack stand, so if anything falls, you don't get hurt. Probably back on that video, pause it, just double check how you got it. So take the wheel off, look at everything, see what you're going to be removing. Double check, just make sure everything is good and functional, not just the brakes that you're working on right now, but look at your hub assembly, look at the wheel speed sensor, all your wires right here. But for this, we're going to be removing the caliper and the bracket. You can see that's a T55 Torx, and I believe that was an 18 millimeter socket we used to get the caliper bracket off. But in this video, I'm going to show you everything. Right here, this is the connector for the hub assembly if you're going to be replacing that going through all this process. Just make sure it's good. If you check out the video library, I am going to have more videos including replacing that hub assembly. That's really what I'm doing. I just made this extra video out of that. Turn the wheel to the passenger side so it's easier to access the caliper assembly. Just speeds it up for you. You don't really have to do that if you don't want to. Using that T55 Torx and a 1/2-inch breaker bar, I'm going to remove the caliper slider pins out of the bracket, or into the bracket. You can see I loosen them with the 1/2-inch breaker bar, and I'm using my Milwaukee 1/4-inch impact to get them out to where their finger loosened or available to get out with my hand. Using a flathead screwdriver, I pry it against the rotor and the caliper to give me a little bit of leeway in those pistons. And we're going to compress those a little bit later on, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and share while you're watching too. Remove the inboard pad, set it off to the side. Or if you're going to be replacing them, hey, just go ahead and toss them. Now we're going to remove the caliper bracket using an 18 millimeter socket. I'm using the impact on the 1/2-inch drive. Again, I'm going to loosen it with my hands. You could use an impact or a 1/2-inch impact if you have one, but loosen it with my hands and use my 1/4-inch impact to get it off. Just speeds up the process. You could just use your hand tools if you like to. Your brakes, you should replace them maybe about every 60,000 miles-ish on these Chevys. It's looking like we used to be able to get about 80,000 out of them out of the factory, but it doesn't seem to be so anymore. Remove the caliper and the outboard pad. When you install the caliper bracket, make sure you install the outboard pad in that assembly before you put it on. Take that rotor off, look at everything again. I am replacing the hub assembly. If you check out the video library, that's where I'm going to go from here. But if you're just doing the brakes, I'm using the jack bar to give me some extra leverage, and I'm using or pulling up on that lower control arm to see if I see any movement in the suspension. So if I'm here, got everything taken apart, I'm going to go ahead and replace that while I'm here. Now to clean the bracket, I'm putting it back on the spindle. You don't have to do this. It just makes it a little bit easier for video's sake. I always recommend to get new hardware or a hardware kit with your new brake pads. Don't buy the cheap stuff. Don't cut corners, kind of like I am in this video. But make sure everything is clean when you reinstall everything. Everything you take it off before you put it on, just clean it. Make sure it's nice and clean. When you look at the kits when you buy these things, you should be able to buy everything, the pads, the rotors, under 200 bucks plus shipping. I even saw some kits that included the complete caliper and rotor kits for under 200 bucks. And I'm going to try to put some links in the description below for that. Make sure everything's really clean. Try not to get dust in the boots. Before you install the caliper, make sure those boots are really good too. Don't want to install some new slider pins or all these brakes and everything, and then come to find out these boots are just squirting grease out of them in a couple miles. So take a look at everything while you're here. Replace stuff as needed. These slider pins need to be really clean. Try to get the old grease out of there as best you can and wipe off the old grease off those sliders. Here I'm using some synthetic brake grease. There should be a link in the description below for that as well. This is some really good stuff. I don't know why they went to the purple stuff. It's pretty good for video's sake though. Look at this. Put grease on these sliders pretty liberally. You don't want to do too much to where it's just squirting out when you slide it in there. But make sure the slider pins are actually sliding, so when you press on the brakes and you let go, the pads release off of the rotor. So this is a pretty important part of the brake job. To do the best BJ you can, make sure you do this. So make sure it all slides around before you go too far. Now the bracket and sliders are all clean. Let's loosen up the reservoir cap and get ready to compress the pistons back into the caliper. I'm using a dual piston caliper compression tool. It seems to work really good in this situation with these dual pistons. The tool is actually meant for pistons on both sides of the pads, but it works really good in this situation, like I said. Get it so your compressor could fit between the pads. I had to loosen it up just a little bit. And when you do this process right here, you want to compress the pads all the way, or compress the pistons all the way into the caliper as far as you can. You might get some of the brake fluid overflowing onto your reservoir, depending how much fluid you had in there to begin with, and don't be alarmed. Also, if you're doing a brake job like this, you do not need to bleed the brakes when you're all done. Right here, how we're compressing the pads, we're not opening the brake system to allow any air in, so don't do anything extra than what I'm showing you in this video, and you should be good to go. Let's take this bracket off of the spindle and get everything going right. You'll notice when I put this brake rotor on, I will install one lug nut to hold the rotor in place. Makes it much easier for assembly of the brake, so it's not vibrating around or moving around to where it won't line up easily. Obviously, take it off when we're all said and done, but right here, just one on there, makes it so the rotor stays in place. Now let's go ahead and install everything. First, your outboard pad needs to be loaded into the caliper bracket before you install it onto the rotor. You're going to have a really hard time getting it on if you don't. These 18 millimeter using a 1/2 inch torque wrench and an 18 millimeter socket, I'm going to tighten these caliper bracket bolts to the spindle to 129 foot-pounds. Again, that's 129 foot-pounds on the bracket to spindle or spindle to bracket bolts. You should find a link in the description to buy all the tools needed if you need them, and the parts shown in the video as well. Like I said, you can find kits that are really cheap. These brake jobs, this one actually took me about 40 minutes, even making the video too. So it's really not that long to get this job done. Make sure everything is nice and cleaned up. Get your caliper. Hopefully it's compressed enough to get your pistons to clear your pads easily. Get your slider pins through the caliper into the bracket. Get it finger tight if you can. I just got a couple threads, not even a couple, like really a 1/2 thread in, and I had to use this T55 to get it in the rest of the way. I've never seen another vehicle that has this tight of brake specifications on the caliper slider pins. They're actually all a lot smaller than this variation as well, so that's probably why. So again, T55 Torx, and we're going to tighten these down to 80 foot-pounds using a 1/2 inch torque wrench. Again, like, subscribe, and share. If you know anybody with a Chevy truck, this is going to cover a lot of vehicles from the 2001-ish, actually like 99, to 2006. So if you know somebody with a Chevy truck, this might help them out. So let them know about these videos, please. T55 Torx, 80 foot-pounds. After you're done with this, you're going to want to close the cap on the reservoir and press your brake pedal a few times, to build up the pressure in the system. If the vehicle is off, it should take about 3 pumps. I had the vehicle on, it took me like 15 pumps for some reason. I might have some more problems elsewhere, but get the pressure built up, close the cap on the reservoir right here, and just sit back and admire your work. Thanks for checking out Scotty's Hobbies. Like, subscribe, and share before you go too far. I'll see you guys on the next hopefully helpful video.